This is day 1709 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, 1709. Today we're doing Choshen Mishpat, Simen Shin Samach Zayin, Sif Yud Aleph to Yud Tes. Yud Aleph. Hamachzir is a Karen, the Bible of somebody who stores the principle of stolen object to the owner of a covered bar mishtim b'chomesh. He denies the second time the chomesh, which he didn't pay. Yeshua takes a shvua on it. V'nase hachomesh Karen l'chol davar. The fifth becomes a principle for all matters. And shalom chomesh and chomesh acher. He made another chomesh on the chomesh. Shneimar says chamishisov. He'll say for love. It's plural. You had a fifth out of fifth. Actually, smart chomesh and shich barbo until the fifth, which he is denying, is diminished. Yishava love shabuta to the extent the shvuyite banas unless a shabuta. So every false oath you take after a fifth and a carbon. Misha somebody had a little iron gives for safekeeping. Beton Shaban, he claims it got lost. Vinishba, he took an oath. Chazav Bahoda Shu, so then he went back and confessed that it was actually by him. Because of Beton Shaban, then he claimed that it got lost again. Vinishba, he took an oath. Chazav Bahoda Shu, so then he confessed again that it was by him. Mishayim Chomesh Chosh Shvua pays the fifth and each every Shvua. Ima Keren HaEchad, together with this, there's only one principle, and the principle is not repeated. Shema Chamishi Savil Sefer Lab. The Melamed again, who teaches us Mishayim Kama Chomesh Keren HaEchad, it can be several fifths on one principle. But then the Ashim will bring each every false oath. You base in on the Nish by Kvias Mama Mishayim Chomesh actually the Matzmo. Somebody who took a false oath on denying a monetary claim does not pay chomesh unless he concedes on his own. So if Adam come and he sustains his denial, he only pays principal. He has to pay the principal based on the testimony. He doesn't pay the chomesh. The chomesh and the carbon come for atonement. You only get atonement if you agree to be atoned for. This shvua, it doesn't matter if you do it in court or take it outside of court. You're still going to be chayav. Okay? Since we already saw that a Gazan who took a shvua has to make a superior restoration to one who did not take a shvua. Therefore, even if after shvua somehow the stolen object became his, according to the letter of the law. For example, you stole from somebody from whom you stood to inherit. You took the shvua. And then the person from whom you inherited died, and you inherited the lost stolen object. Yes, nevertheless, you extricate the principal from his hand with the fifth and bring a carbon in order to have atonement. The reason he became that carbon, since you can't bring the carbon unless you restore the principal, like we saw. Therefore, if the stolen object remains by him, I'll be shot to answer yes, even though now it's no longer considered to be theft. Nevertheless, came, and the other item for the mitzvah of restoration. Can bring carbon. Even in their day and age when there are carbonas. Nevertheless, it's appropriate in the kind of mitzvah shava for the mitzvah b'shava. According to what we wrote, it's understandable that which Chazal were lenient on the Gazlan in this matter, that he can do it in a way that he will not lose. As we shall see, the Mishum, the Ein Zerak, since only in order to fulfill the technical mitzvah in this case of restoration, we're not concerned if on the side he doesn't lose as a result. This is the language of the Mishnah. Hagozas Avi, somebody who steals from his father. He took an oath to him, the mason, he died. You have to pay the principal and the fifth to his other sons or to his brothers. If he doesn't want it or he doesn't have brothers and sons, the creditor, he borrows money, and creditors come and collect. The fascinating thing. Says, you pay the brothers, the sons of your father, Shem Achiv, who are your brothers. You don't have any brothers, you pay to your uncles. So it sounds like you don't give it to the Gaz and should not give it to his own children. The Eino Nikar Shav is not recognizable as a restoration. Show the Vater Choko. If he doesn't have, doesn't want to forego his portion in the inheritance, which includes the stolen object, or he doesn't have property that he has capacity to forego his portion. Love macherim, he borrows from other people. Kashir exile the amount of the theft. That's when they collect from the gzeil itself. If the stolen object is no longer extant, they accept from him value according to the value of the theft. Comes into Shava. He fulfills this way the mitzvah of Hashavas Gzeila. Or if he doesn't have an heir who he can discern, V'gam ein lo as alternative heir, not himself. V'gam ein lo. He also doesn't have whom to borrow. Amr Chazal said, you should put the stolen object in the tzedakah fund. And you should say, Zehu migezel avi. This is what I stole from my father. So that the restitution should be, restoration should be recognizable. Also give it as a gift to a third party. It's a gift from what I stole from my father. But if you give it to a different heir or to a creditor, you don't have to say it's from my stolen property from my father. The below is regardless, the restoration is recognizable. Since another person is taking it, no saying, but if he's just giving it, so Shiomar has to say it. Says brings down this seems to indicate by Rashi. Rashi scheme a Rush, Feltur, and the Russian tour agree with it. Tesvava Rambam Pereches. Rambam writes a good cause about Goizel. And so, if somebody who saw his father, Nishbel, he took an oath to his father, made so the father died. You man exile came as if the exile is not extant, only Stein, so it got changed. Make reckoning with your brothers on the principle and the fifth. If the stolen object is still extant, you have to extricate the exile itself, from underneath your hand. Therefore, you give the exile to your brothers. You make a reckoning. He has no brothers. Says that Gazel Avado, who are yours. It turns out that this Gazel himself is the sole heir. He does give the exile does extricate the exile from his hands. Give this to his own children. If the Gazan has no children, he gives it to his creditor, Obavaso, as or by his through a loan, or tzedakah, or for tzedakah. However, and once the stolen goods have themselves passed out of his hands, Niftar is exempt. Even though he gave his gift, or gave it as a repayment of an obligation. As long as he tells them, this is my theft from my father. He doesn't want to interpret that to brothers means to his father's brothers. Came to Medina, since he's the son, he gets the inheritance, and the father's brothers have no inheritance according to the law. Chazal say to give it specifically to them. You ask him to give it to anybody you want. So therefore, it's to tell you about his own brothers. But they are mace, the children of the deceased, Shem, Yorshin, Gagin, who are also considered to be heirs. Ram holds the aim is a mitzvah the Ram holds there's no mitzvah, even a preference that he should lose the value of the theft came in Shishlo. It's now it says, all you have to do is fulfill the mitzvah of restoration. Therefore, when you give back to your own brothers, you can make a reckoning, and you can impede from the corresponding to the value of the theft a different money from the Yerusha. Based on the amount of brothers. If the stolen object is no longer extant, he gives from his portion according to the value of the stolen object. With the fifth, and the brothers take this as a restoration. But he gets from elsewhere corresponding to this based on the reckoning of number of brothers that he has. When he gives his own children, there's no reckoning. Because then he himself is taking it in the final. Now says the butt of Katzmo. His children in this respect are like he himself. If their brother, he holds their brothers, to give to the brothers than to give to his own children. It's more recognizable as the restoration. Those of our rabbis who said the opposite, that his children take precedence in terms of restoration. Since all he has to fulfill the mitzvah of giving it back, restoration is a technicality. Why should he give it to others and not his own children? This tastes. Rambam ain't nafkin, but there's no difference. Again, since he holds anyway, you're going to hold back from your brothers whatever the theft is worth. Is not losing anything. As the Mishnah says him ain lo, if he doesn't have. But it means if he doesn't have, he explains it means he doesn't have brothers or children. And his gears doesn't say the language of Eina Rotze. All this is what you're talking about where he made a shvua. Avlo nishma didn't take a shvua, answer klum. Was not a receive your gimel. He doesn't regard anything like we said previously. Stop and say those are not clear about that. That's probably law. Can't because of a Rashi with Tshuva, and Rashi wrote that in Tshuva, which evidently Mishnah Melech brings down. Tezayim, that's why there are more rights. And see if some say the klum keneged gzela. He doesn't take anything corresponding to the theft. Only if he's impoverished, he can't forgo his portion. Love him, he borrows some others. They come and they collect from his portion. This is a perspective Rashi. But also in this opinion, where Ramah is saying, like it says, if he doesn't want. I don't know if the. Oh, actually, Ramah didn't bring down if he wants to. He says he doesn't know why the two Ramah did not bring this out. Is specifically when he borrowed first from others in the frame also, and they come and they collect from his stolen object. Mikre Hashav is called restoration. But that he should take afterwards, corresponding to the Gzela from the other brothers. Most feel like Rambam in this respect did not hold right. Rambam they could do this. That would not consider restoration if he got full restitution. You time Parshas do because of Nishne is gone Parshas no. So this Parsha of Gezo where you took a Shvua is repeated twice in Torah. It says that in Vayikra, that's in Bamidbar, but Isha Yishav Gomer, Yisaduas Chatosam Shasu, they should confess their sin they did. Beshias Hashem Abarosho, they give back the principle, Bachamishisoy, so for love, and they add on a fifth. Nasan Hashem Law, give to the person to whom they are liable. Vashamos Karen, is Hashem, this is the Karen. But Ksiv Hashem, it says in English Goel, if the person has no redeemer, Lashiv Hashem, Elav Hashem, Moshav Hashem Kohen, then the restoration is made to of the principle is made to the Kohen. El Kippurim Asher Chaber Lo besides the korban. But there's Chazal say Chiesh Lo Adam Yisrael Shel Golim. Is any Jew who doesn't have heirs? The Kramar Shenik Lo Ger Ger. So the pasuk says where the person who he stole was a ger, and the censorship puts in here Bisman HaMikdash when the ger were accepted. Umeis V'Lo Niach Banim Ubanos L'Yosha, and he died without the ger died without sons or daughters to inherit him. Chayav Kafar Gazlan in his lifetime the Gazlan denied his obligation. Manishba, and he took an oath. Charatzon asked the tshuva, he wants to do tshuva afterwards. No second. So what he does is, since the ger is no longer alive, no second. We give the principal and the fifth to the kohanim. Shows the mishmar of that watch over the base of mikdash, which is certain base of mikdash that week. V'achar maybe korban osham iskapelo. He brings korban osham and he is atoned for. V'mneisha Torah kara leged kana gzeil osham. Since the Torah calls the principle of the theft osham, tinok osham, it's always like a korban osham. She'em akrim b'layla b'yom. It's becomes a form of avoda, which can only be done during the day and not at night. So too, you can't get back to pencil during the night time. The Shon says the Chumash should give at night. The Torah should put the whole Kohen because shows a mishmar. I don't know that. You have to give a shava pruta to each Kohen of that mishmar, regardless of what you stole. Shemar mushav Hashem la Kohen. Lo ksi la Kohanim. It says that which is given back to Hashem, to the Kohen, and not to the Kohanim, not the collector. Shalom Nashadeh Hashem l'chol Kohen Kohen. Has to be a restoration each and every Kohen. Shem shevachol korban tzrichim anshe mishmar chay b'neim. Just like in every korban, the anshe mishmar divide amongst them. V'enchol korban kreg korban. They don't say, oh, you take this korban, I'll take that korban. Shay to korban shazeh b'zeh korban shazeh. They don't tell you their korban kosh kosh around perik yubim ma'aser korbanos. K'moche enchol gezel k'nei gezel. You don't divide up. You take this gezel again, and I'll take that gezel again. Elam yikol gzeil chokim b'neim, or the entire chol gzeil chokim b'neim. Each every gzeila, all the Kohen and the mishmar divide up. Keinam outside matmat. Also, you can't get back little by little. Chol gzeil kachas, you have to get back the entire gzeila as a lump sum. Chacham chazal seichel yizir chatzon le'yotza k'mor korban. If you get back and put in piece in parts, you're not yotzei like korban. Rama zali shmit zev le'dat yom. I don't know whether Rama left this out. Before you give it back to the Kohanim, I'm going to the Gaza required to do a search. Maybe perhaps there are children remaining from the person whom we stole. Give back to those descendants. But the person who stole was a minor. You don't have to search to see if there are any heirs. In a moli, the cotton cannot conceive. Therefore, it says a man. Goel, who has a redeemer, in other words, an heir, but cotton, not a child. You can't ask Lama why to preclude cotton because he doesn't give birth. Hello, Ain Din Zarak Manishba. There's a separate issue here. This halach only applies where you took an oath. Cotton and Ishma. There is no oath on the claim of a cotton. Was on Sib test. No. On the Mishkach's law, we have a case. Shekofats and Nishba, when on your own initiative you jumped up and took a shvuah. Or where the cotton brought an eid echad, a solitary witness, where the eid echad requires a shvuah. It's Taisus, beginning of the 8th parak Sanhedrin. Vein l'shol, you can't ask man the cotton most. Arein l'schiyah, cotton has no acquisition. No queries. You already learned the b'das cheres makne. If somebody else bestows ownership on him, yesh the cotton scheme the right. So cotton does have a Torah level acquisition. You test. I feel coin atzmim, the coin himself shagazel also, the who stole from a ger, who meis haganigzal, and the ger died, and the Yoshin has no heirs. Lo zocha kohen, the kohen does not automatically acquire by gzeir shtar yodo, the stolen object which is he possesses. Elamotzi taz yodo, he has to extricate it from his hands. Chol chol b'kohen b'nei mishmara, to all his brethren, the Kohanim who are members of that Mishmar. Even the Kohanim from that Mishmar, he can't impede it to himself. And he doesn't get a portion. Let's give it to the Kohanim, and that is their portion. And that's it for today.